He's been bubbling and frothing on the bench in the last few games. It'll be interesting to see if he can channel that out there this evening. So he's in because of his performances off the bench and the way he's played in the Europa League. And Jack Wilshere also starts tonight. Arsenal fans have been asking for this for a few weeks now. And again, it's largely because of the 90 minutes he's been putting in the Europa League. And he's impressed. He's looked fit.
He has really. This is the fittest he's looked for many a year. And I think this is almost like his final chance at Arsenal now, because he's promised so much over the years, and the Arsenal fans he's promised them so much, and they've expected, but injuries have held this kid back. And listen, receiving the ball, he's one of the best England have seen in the last few years. His touch, his awareness, but it's what he does after that that's going to really amount to what he is. Does he affect games enough in terms of assists, goals? I mean, if you look at his position, someone who can run with the ball and take the ball to opponents, takes them out of the game. But then after that, you want to see assists. You want to see goals in that position. And I think that's what he needs to bring to his game. But he needs to be doing that on a consistent basis. Aligned to that, he needs to stay fit.
Wenger, though, sees him as a special player. He loves him, treats him like his own son. And he's had to nurture him because he's had many injuries. Now, first step one, he has to be regularly available. He's just played 5 games back-to-back in Europa League, 90 minutes. Not done that for a long time. So that's the first journey done. The performances have improved game after game. He's incisive. He runs with the ball in that midfield like no other player. And he wants to be an Arsenal player. You know, we're saying Ozil has been offered that many contracts, and he doesn't necessarily want to sign it. Jack Wilshere does. And if he comes back into form, for me, I'd play him for the rest of the season, because he has that little bit of extra quality. He'd be watching the England games and thinking, all manner of players now are playing for England ahead of me. It can open up for him. His career opens up, but he's in that last chance.
I still see Jack Wilshere as potential, because he's never sustained an amount of time in the first team to say, actually, you know what, he is the main man at Arsenal, because he hasn't stayed fit. It's difficult to say, because so many injuries can take so much out of players. And has he still got that yard of pace that he had before when he first came on the team, that took you back and went, whoa, this kid's got something special?
It's 25.
If he's still got that, then you can say, yeah. But somebody who hasn't played enough games back-to-back, well, I just see that as potential.
I just see it as being Jack's night. This has to be his night now. So there's talk of him coming to West Ham.
What does he have to do to make it his night?
Take the game by the scruff of the neck and run that midfield.
Assist and goals. I need to see end product. I want end product. If I'm sitting behind someone who plays it, I want to see end product. I want to see assists, chances created, and goals affect the game. And I think he's got the talent to do that. He's a fantastically talented player.
And do you both want to see him on the plane to Russia in the summer?
Performances will tell us. You can't just say, just because of potential, just because of what you've done in the past, you deserve to be on a plane. You've got to produce performances to warrant
one step at a time. Nothing else but this game tonight matters for Jack Wilshere. You know, it should be in his hands. Go and play and run the game and love it.
Yeah, don't think about England. Think about Arsenal. That's where your bread's buttered. Think about Arsenal. And I can't wait for it. Hopefully he can produce.
Arsene Wenger's best night in football was Arsenal when they beat Barcelona. Arshavin, Nazari, Wilshere running the midfield. He hasn't had that for a long time. He wants Jack back in that. He's an important piece of the jigsaw.
Best night in football.
That was his best night when they beat Barcelona, because it was total football and he outplayed the best people.
I always knew that on a cold Wednesday night in Stratford we'd end up talking about Arsenal against Barcelona.
Did they win anything? Did they win? What did they win
won
that
nothing,
year?
fella.
Come on, man.
Yeah, but Wenger, that was his vision of football that night, and it hasn't had it since.